Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mack Flash Trivia. My name is Francois, and I will be your host for the next little bit. This is Seriously Trivia Live. Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't screwed up one of these names so far. I always know where I am, surprisingly enough. Well, welcome everybody, and it's, again, nagging feeling like I'm forgetting something. The mic's on, you guys are here, this show is on. I think we're ready to go. We're going to be playing some trivia tonight. I hope you guys had a great week. It is finally Friday. Here we are, not to be cliche or anything, but it's always a fun thing to have a Friday. As we do on Fridays, we're going to play Seriously Trivia, 2 rounds of 10 categories each. Short break in the middle for you to chill out. The whole thing should be over in about an hour and a half or so, but settle in, get comfy on your couch, and a very special show taking place afterwards as well called the Games Lounge. It's a premiere of the Mack Flash Games Lounge. Make sure you join us at 10 right here on YouTube as well. You won't have to move too far. You'll just have to click on another box, and that's it. And then you can play some board games with me and the Mack Flash team. For about an hour or so after the show. It's a little trivia after dark. Now you want to go into my lounge, right? Yeah, it really makes you want to go to the lounge. Well, this is how trivia works here at Seriously Trivia. It's not your, this ain't your daddy's trivia, unless my daughter's playing, at which point it is exactly your daddy's trivia. This is exactly what it is. Cheers, everybody. This is how it's going to work. These are the recommended supplies for everybody. Everyone should have a whiteboard or a notepad on which to take notes. It will be a quick turnaround, so the whiteboard works nice because you can just erase and start over, not waste any paper. You can also type them out, whatever you need. Just don't type them in the chat. Optional, you can have yourself a scoreboard to keep track of your scores. How it's going to work? Well, there's 10 rounds or 10 categories of 3 questions each, except the picture one, which is 5. It's a mix of puzzles and trivia all night. When somebody picks a category, we will go to there. And we will play the 3 questions inside it, 20 seconds each. Why does it sound like everything I'm saying has an innuendo right now? I don't know why, but everything's coming up. Maybe it's just my 12-year-old mind is kicking in, or just I'm not choosing my words properly. During these questions, you're going to want to answer discreetly on your board or your paper as we go, or discuss with your team if you formed a team over Messenger or Zoom or whatever video conferencing process you'd like to abide to. Immediately after we're done, I will reveal the answers, so you'll be able to mark your boards as we go, round after round. Share your score in the background and let us know how you did. Then after that, tally your score, keep track of it on the corner of your board or something like that, because at the end of the round, we'd love to know what your final score was. Share it in the chat, but remember, once again, do not shout out the answers in the chat. So there you go. We are ready to play. We're ready to play. So let's do this. Let's take a look at your categories. First of all, 10 of them in the first half, 10 to follow in the next one. So if your favorite puzzle's not there yet, maybe wait till the next one. Seriously Trivia on YouTube goes like this. These are your categories. Life on the Chain Gang. We've got How You Say. We've got Add It Up. Jump Around. Jump Around. We've got Combonation, the ABCs of, Double Wide Trailer, Songs in the Key of, Elementary Geography, and Once Upon a Crib. There you have it. Well, there you go. I don't know what you guys were hoping for or waiting for. Maybe some Brad Libs. I like to dole those out, keep you wanting. Maybe next week I'll have some Brad Libs. Or maybe there's some in the next round. You don't know. Although I said that pretty confidently. Well, you guys know how to play already, and for those of you who are new to this, if you just shout out some categories in the chat, I will write them down, and then we'll go like that. So it starts with, let's see here, Combonation. Then we got songs, and then we got cribs. There you go. And then we got Elementary Geography. There you go. So now that I've got those written, I'll take the rest of them down after, and I'm going to try to play them. It's much more fun to do it out of order like that, and sort of giving you the choice of how to begin. So thank you to Melissa for choosing Combonation, our newest game. This is a brand new game. It's Seriously Trivia, premiering right here on YouTube. I've never done this before, but I found it recently, and I thought it would be really cool. It's kind of like a Ditloy, but not really. Given the first letter and the number of letters of each word, name the food combination. Here's a perfect example to show it. P6, B6, and J3. If you look at it, that is peanut, butter, and jam. Peanut has 6 letters and starts with a P. Butter starts with a B and has 6 letters, and jam starts with a J and has 3 letters. In the next 3 boxes, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to give you these classic food combinations, and all you have to do is figure them out. You've got plenty of hints, but only 20 seconds. Here we go. Moving on to number 2, what famous food combination is being represented here in this puzzle? And finally, let's take a look at this combination and tell me what food combination is represented here. And there you have it. That is Combonation. Let me know what you thought of that game in the chat. When I found this, I was like, that's really cool. I don't know how much I'll be able to use it, but I can see myself spraying that out into other topics as well of famous combinations. So there we go. We were looking for combinations of food. Lock in your answers because we're going to look at mine right now. First one we were looking for, grilled cheese and tomato soup. It's not like a soup made of grilled cheese and tomato. It's grilled cheese, tomato soup. In your next one, we were looking for red beans and rice. Red beans and rice. There you have it. Classic, delicious combination. And pancakes and maple syrup, near and dear to my heart, that's for sure. Pancakes, maple syrup, red beans and rice, grilled cheese, and tomato soup. Give yourself a point for each of those you got correct, and I'll see you back at the front menu. Oh, I like my beans extra beanie. Sorry, I forgot to tell you. I like my beans to be like super. I like beans. You know, beans. I put an extra A in there, so that's how I write beans. So there you have it. Yeah. So technically, I was right. I mean, I get how I was like maybe wrong, but you know, technically I was right. So yeah. But hopefully you were still able to figure out that R, B, and R was red beans and rice, at which point you still get a point if you did that. All right, so, well, you know, some work to do on that, but definitely a good game. Let's keep moving. Our next one we had requested was songs in the key of always a classic. Beans. That's how it goes. Yeah. You want to get it right. Songs in the key of time. Answer these questions about songs with a time of day in the title. If you're ready, number one goes like this. According to Gladys Knight and the Pips, what time does the train to Georgia leave? Definitely a joke about beans and repeating and something stretching it out. I don't know. Yeah. All right, let's take a look. Songs in the key of time, number dos. What early morning time was Matchbox 20 singing about in 1996? And finally, songs in the key of time. Your last question goes like this. Not a specific time, but definitely, what? Definitely a time of day. What song is the Starland vocal band famous for singing? Oh, this whole thing, maybe that's what it is. Maybe just the French is all coming out of me right now. I didn't even know how to say definitely. That's very difficult for me. I think I mispronounced it twice before I actually said it correctly. Well, there you have it. Those are your songs in the key of time. We're looking for 3 answers having to do with songs that had a time of day in the title. Let's take a look at your answers right now. Lock them in because here they come. Firstly, we were looking for the Midnight Train to Georgia. Woo-hoo! I was singing that all day today, for sure. Your next one, we had 3 a.m. It's 3 a.m., I must be lonely. That one? Yeah, you know him. And then we have got ourselves Afternoon Delight. Anyway, that's the one. Afternoon Delight. So give yourself a point for each of those songs that you got correct and add it to your score. We'll see you back at the front. Share your scores in the chat. Let us know as people are doing right now. A lot of 2s and 3s out of 3s. Des bins, ça a quand même juste 5 lettres. On peut pas gagner. Oh, there you go. There's got to be a mistake at some point. It's almost as inevitable as me forgetting to turn on my mic at some point. You know what I mean? There's going to be some sort of spelling mistake. It's going to happen. Blame it on the fact that I am French. I don't know. Let's do that. Let's take a look at your next one. Somebody wanted Once Upon a Crib, and Once Upon a Crib you shall receive. It is your picture round. Make some room on your board or paper because this time you have 5 answers to write down because there are 5 pictures coming up on the screen. I want you to name the fairy tale that inspired the design of these homes. These are not real homes. An artist has imagined what houses would look like if they were built inspired by a certain specific fairy tale. There's 5 of them coming up. Sometimes they're subtle, sometimes it's pretty direct. But take a good look at the house and tell me what fairy tale inspired the design of these 5 houses. Number 2. Number 3. And there you have it. Those are the 5 pictures you get for this Once Upon a Crib. All you had to do is write down the fairy tale that inspired the architecture and design of each of those houses. Hopefully you've got them written down because here come my answers right about now. We got Alice in Wonderland in the first house. There you go. I don't know if she designed her own house that way, considering all the terrible memories she probably has of Wonderland. But anyway, who knows? Somebody might want to have a house like that. We have Hansel and Gretel. There you go. The house was made out of gingerbread and all sorts of candies and whatnot. You can even see the silhouette of 2 children entering the house. 3 little pigs were represented by those little condos or huts, one made of straw, wood, and then brick. We had Pinocchio with the big jawed-out nose, a complete waste of space, and whoever built that house should be fined and also found and then dealt with. That's pretty much it. And finally, we have Sleeping Beauty coming in at number 5 with the needle and the pricking and the sleeping and the glavin and the gloivin. And there you go. Give yourself a point for each of those. Those were your fairy tales Once Upon a Crib. You get 5 points if you get them all. Add them to your score. And let me tell you a little bit about Above and Beyond Massage Therapy Clinic, Windsor's award-winning clinic with 6 registered massage therapists that will help you with your aches and pains. They offer innovative techniques such as Medi-cupping, Thai yoga massage, bamboo fusion, and myofacial release. Who doesn't like a good facial release? Direct billing to insurance companies is available. Make sure you visit them on Facebook or their website at abmassage.ca. And thank you for your continued support. I'm glad you enjoyed that category, and let's move on because we've got a ton after this whole thing is done. We're going to be doing 10 more categories. plenty of stuff happening. There's the shot of the night, of course, geared up in round number 2, and even then, we're not done after that. More on that later. I took a look at the list. I went through. You guys can keep adding some stuff because I am missing categories, but right now, I've got elementary geography coming up. Elementary geography, one of my favorites because it uses many facets of knowledge. For each 2-letter code, I want you to give the chemical element and the U.S. state that it represents. So the same 2-letter code could represent many things. In this case, it represents a chemical element and a U.S. state. You'll get a point for each, which means this whole round is out of 6 points. So make sure you take a good look, and hopefully you have a geographer and a scientist in your group. Let's take a look at your first one. CO. Give the chemical element for CO and the U.S. state for CO. We got elementary geography number 2 coming up, and that is MN. Give the chemical element and the U.S. state for MN. And finally, your last elementary geography. Name the chemical element and the U.S. state for Ne. I guess in some way, all of the states count for that last one because it's the any state. All right, enough about that. Let's keep moving with your answers. We were looking for 2 answers per code. One was the name of a chemical element. The other one was a U.S. state. You've got a possibility of 6 points here, so let's take a look at that. You're welcome. Cobalt was the element, and Colorado was the state for CO. There you have it. Manganese. Manganese is the element for that one, and Minnesota was the state. There you have it. And last but not least, no, it wasn't just any state. It was Nebraska, and the chemical element was neon. So out of those, give yourself a point for each. 6 possible points coming at your team. Put it on the chat and put it on your board. Add it to your total for the end of the game. See, the dad jokes are getting a little bit of love in the chat. I don't know if it's the love I was looking for, but there they are. There it is. There it is. Glad to see a lot of the usual teams are here tonight. I'm going to try to do some shout outs right now just because you guys are great. But, you know, there's not a lot of time. I feel like this game's got to move. It's got to move, baby. We got the Hackers, the Santons, the Willettes. We got codename Duchess in the house. We got Team Twentin Quarantino. Thank you very much. The Naughty Hookers are here. We've got the Beyonce Knowles 3, the Underground Mixtape. You know, like I say, when life gives you lemon, you know what I mean? Glory Holes in the house and sponsoring the show tonight. Thank you so much. Christ Punchers, Mom's team on fire, apparently. Good for you. That's awesome. The Stillies are here. Also, the Covidius, super much fun. The Mixed Nuts, Team Cherry Poppins. Cherry Poppins. All right. Low Expectations, Hot Mess Express, Team LaFontaine. I hope I didn't miss any of you. But there's a bunch of you here, which I'm glad to see. Thank you so much. And Yeet Sheep 2.0. Welcome back, Yeet Sheep. Yes. Awesome. We've got ourselves... let's see here. Shout out to Nova Scotia, to NS. Not an element? No, definitely not. Well, I don't know. I'm not that good at chemistry. All right, your next one, Add It Up, is what we were looking for. And Add It Up goes like this. It's a word game, so I know some people are going to be super pumped about that. Find the roots which make up the compound word. I've taken a compound word, such as in the example here, the word rainbow, and I've broken it up into its 2 root words, then given you the definition for those. That's what you have to figure out for these. You just got to figure out the final word that belongs to this addition of root words. If you're ready, let's take a look at number 1. Churned cream plus air travel. Shout out to AC and Belding. Shout out to Ruth Beta Ginsburg. To Levate las Manos. To Let It Ride. To the Sad Sacks. Thank you so much. All right, add it up. Add it up. The stem of a garlic bulb plus a horned farm animal. So remember the 2 roots. The 2 utes. The 2 roots make up a compound word. And finally, number 3, and add it up. Larger than a village but smaller than a city, plus a boat. Happy birthday to Shane on your champagne birthday, turning 29 on the 29th. That is pretty awesome, and it's a great time to have a champagne birthday, not like those dumb 2-year-olds. Right? All right. Let's keep moving here. Add it up. We were looking for your answers. All you had to do was write down the compound words. I just called 2-year-olds dumb for having a birthday which they can't control. Let's take a look at your answers for these. We were looking for the following compound words. It was butter, churned cream, and fly. The flight. I forget how I define that. Number 2, we were looking for scape, the stem of garlic, and then a horned farm animal, goat, a scapegoat. There you have it. And we have a town, and then a boat was a ship. So there you go. Butterfly, scapegoat, township. Voila. Give yourself a point for each of those. See you back at the front for more games. Let's see here. Probably time for me to tell you a little bit about one of our sponsors here, Littlefoot Foods. They are on here as one of our sponsors. They'll be taking over the title lead again next week. So thank you very much for all of your support. Make sure you check out Littlefoot Foods. If you're fans of pierogies, they are actually super, super delicious. I was fortunate to have them, and I can't wait to have them again. Just no boiling. You just fry them, and boom, you're done. You can get that. You can get cabbage rolls, stuffed peppers. They're open for curbside or Tuesday through Saturday from 12 to 3 p.m. And have some limited hot food delivery through Uber Eats if you're in the Windsor area. Visit their Facebook page to learn more, or check out littlefootfoods.com. And thank you very much for helping us out. All right. Let's keep moving here. We got your categories going. I've got 2 left here. Somebody says jump around and then chain gang, which means we're going to have how you say, the ABCs of, and double wide trailers left after that. So feel free to shout some stuff out in the chat, whatever order I see them in. That's the order that we will play them in. Jump, everybody jump. Did you hear one of the Criss Cross guys died? One of Daddy Mack or Mac Daddy? I forget. One of the 2 just recently passed away. Crazy. Speaking of jumping. Well, here are 3 assorted questions about jumping. God, I really hope one of the answers is not Criss Cross. That'll be super embarrassing. All right, take a look. What is the expression when a TV show begins its decline, getting its origin on Happy Days, where the Fonz did just that? Here's your next question about jump. To the nearest foot, what is the men's world record in high jump? And what is the women's? 1 point each. And finally, your last question about jumping goes like this. Able to jump 220 times its length and 150 times its height, what creature is usually claimed as the best jumper? Hey, I'm one to admit when I'm wrong, and I will say it right now. Dragon, thank you for pointing out the fact that crisscross guy died 7 years ago. I don't know what article I was reading, but clearly I need to refresh my sources. Well, there you go. Those are your jump around questions. But by the way, jump around, not even by crisscross, it's by House of Pain. So I don't even know why we're talking about this stuff. Let's keep moving because I lead the conversation astray. That's what I do. Let's take a look at your answers for jump around. Jump the shark. When a show starts its decline, when it's past its prime and it just starts to try too much, that's when it jumps the shark. And on Happy Days, he literally did that. The Fonz jumped over a shark while water skiing, and that's after that. It was like, okay, you're reaching. Men's 8 feet is what we were looking for. Women 7 feet is what we were looking for. I did say to the nearest foot, so there you go. Men is actually 8 foot 1/4 inch, and women's record is 6 feet 10 inches and a quarter. So 8 and 7. Give yourself a point for those. Men's 8, women's 7. And the flea, not the bass player for the Red Hot Chili Peppers, but the actual bug or insect. The flea, as a matter of fact, it's an arachnid, if I am not mistaken. Oh, no, wait, I don't even know. You know what? Yeah, I wasn't even sure about crisscross, so don't get me started about arachnids. You know what I mean? Give yourself a point for each of those. This one's out of 4 points, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. You get 1 for each in the high jump category. This one's out of 3, remember. Just trying to take a look at the categories you guys have chosen, and we have got Life on the Chain Gang coming up next, followed by the ABCs. Then we'll have How You Say and Double Wide Trailer. If it's up to me, I'll choose it myself. But Life on the Chain Gang is here, a high-scoring game. 9 possible points going to your team. And you know how this works. You've played it. Look, guys, I fixed the B in the example. I know. It's the little victories that I go for. In the following boxes, I'm going to give you 5 words. The 3 in the middle contain blanks. Those are the ones I want you to figure out. Now, the trick is that you can use every word with the next one to form a common expression or saying. For example, here we have Black Beauty, beauty sleep, sleep tight, tight spot. You have to do that in every box, and you'll get a point for each word you get correct, which means 9 possible points coming at you if you're able to figure them all out. If you're ready, let's get started with number 1. 20 seconds on the clock. Can you find these chain gang words? All right, coming in at number 2 in the chain gang category, we are looking for these words right here. And finally, number 3. And there you have it. That is your chain gang for today. Hopefully you were able to find out every word in this game because that would give you 9 points on your board. Lock them in because here come the correct answers right about maintenant. That's right. We were looking for the following answers. Haircut. Right. I'm sorry I brought it up. Cut down, downtown, town hall. That's what we were looking for in this one. Number 2, clothesline, line dance, dance machine, machine wash. There you have it. 1, 2, 3. And for your last one, pen cap, cap off, offset, and set fire. There you have it. Cut downtown line dance machine, which was my nickname in high school, by the way, and cap offset. Those are your 9 answers. Give yourself a point for each. Shout out to Nicole and my whole family that is out there playing right now. Thank you so much for being part of it. And I'll try to remember the songs that you like for your mixtape whenever I make you one. Mixtape. Give yourself your points. Share them in the... Hey, look at all the 9 out of 9s there. You guys are doing pretty good there. Oh, 9 out of 9. $9.99. Oh, let me tell you about Souk, a modern Middle Eastern restaurant specializing in fresh, authentic cuisine, including hummus, fattoush, shish kebabs, wraps, and more. Don't forget to ask about their desserts as well. They have this new Biscoff cheesecake, which sounds phenomenal. Located on Howard Avenue, open daily for takeout and free citywide delivery. You're going to want to check them out on Facebook or visit soukyqg.ca. And Souk is S-O-U-Q. Check them out. There it is. Let's see here. Let's move on. ABCs of what? That's what we're looking for. The ABCs after that is how you say or double wide. I'm not taking drive machine. Sorry, I just looked down. I'm not gonna have to. I'm not gonna be able. I don't know what a drive machine is. I mean, you could drive a machine. I guess we could that in that way, but otherwise, I'm not gonna be able to accept drive. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I hate to disappoint loyal fans too. That always makes me sad. It does. I don't look sincere right now. It's because I'm being smarmy at the same time. It's hard to look sincere and smarmy. Right. All right. Let's take a look at you. Let's take a look at it. Cheers to you. Cheers to you. The ABCs of sex. Oh, hey. Well, I'm gonna do this here. It's the ABCs of sex. So, in the ABCs of what we do is every answer starts respectively with A, then B, then C. So 3 questions all about sex, and with the answers starting with A, B, and C. If you're ready, let's go. You're absolutely right, Dave. All right, let's take a look here. Letter A, being turned on by yourself or something you think of in your own mind. The answer is not a man. Number 2 in the ABCs of this one, this answer will start with B, the collective term for a variety of sexual practices which include bondage, discipline, sadism, and masochism. And now with the C of sex, which is what I hope to open a gentleman's club called one day, the Sea of Sex. Sorry, I threw myself off there. There we go. C, form of barrier contraception which fits over the cervix and blocks sperm from entering the uterus. Tony, I'm gonna tell you, it's Friday. It's almost 9 o'clock. I'm gonna say this is rated PG-13. Rated PG-13. What's the one before rated R? What's the one just before rated R? You know, the one where you're allowed to say like shit once. That's the one. That's the one this is rated. And I wasted it. I wasted it on that example. Can you? Well, hopefully we make it past 9:30 and then I can say one more. All right, guys, let's take a look at the answers on the ABCs of sex. Looking for 3 answers that started with A, then B, then C. Something that turns you on in your own mind or being turned on by yourself. It's a hard existence, everybody. It is autoerotic. Autoerotic is the word we're looking for. As in that one very dangerous practice that we hear about all the time when things go wrong. You never hear about it when it goes right. You know what I mean? It would be, we had BDSM. The answer was definitely in the title. It is an acronym for the words that were in there: bondage, discipline, sadism, and masochism. So there you go. That is a collective term. And the cervical cap, a double C. In that one, cervical cap is what we're looking for. ABCs of sex. Give yourself a point for each of those you got correct. And now I am out of categories. I'll go take a look at the front and see what we got left, and we'll deal with that when we get there. Welcome to all of our new players, and thank you for stumbling in. I absolutely love it when people just show up. We're playing a trivia game. It's great because you can play along, so you can jump in at any time. What we're doing is we're picking the categories. In the category, there are 3 questions. You just play and keep note of your answers on a board or piece of paper at home. At the end of the category, I give you the answer. You share your score in the chat, and we move on, question after question. There's 2 categories left right now. We'll be back after a short break after this one when we're going to be doing 10 more categories. So please stick around. Welcome to the game. Thanks for being here. That's awesome. How you say double wide trailers? What are we looking at? I'm looking down. Double wide. It's the first thing I saw. Definitely not a condom. Mr. Hacker, definitely not. It doesn't work the same way. If that happens to your condom, something went wrong, and that should not be happening. All right, let's take a look. We got double wide trailers coming up. I love this one. It's your movie category, but it's also a bit of a puzzle. Look at this example. A boy travels to 1955 in a DeLorean, only to discover that Darth Vader is his father. What movie is this? Well, this is obviously The Empire Strikes Back to the Future. See? There it is. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a synopsis of each of these mashup movies, and you got to tell me the answer in the format like this. They will be tied together in some sort of movie centipede, if you will, and they'll be joined by a word in the middle. So let's take a look at your first one. Using a map on the back of the U.S. Constitution, a man gets caught up in an adventure involving pirates, treasure, and a boy named Jim. Coming in at number dos. A dark horse tells the story of its life and how he met a cursed monster in a castle and they fell in love. There's 2 movies described in here which have a word in common that joins them, such as The Empire Strikes Back, Back to the Future, The Empire Strikes Back to the Future. And finally, double wide trailers number 3, coming soon at a theater near you. No one can handle the truth at a military trial, So secret officers in suits show up and flash wipe their memories. Booyakasha! Just wanted to say that. There you go. Those are your double wide trailers. You were looking for two movies that are joined together by the first and last words, such as Empire Strikes Back to the Future. I get the feeling you guys did all right on that. I saw some complaints, some comments about ooh, but I feel like you guys did all right. Let's take a look at the answers for double wide trailers. The first one, using a map on the back of the U.S. Constitution, he gets involved with pirates' treasure and a boy named Jim. It's National Treasure Island. There you go. National Treasure with Nick Cage. Treasure Island, of course, the classic, adapted many, many times book into a movie. We've got ourselves Black Beauty and the Beast. A dark horse tells the story of its life and how it fell in love with a cursed beast that lived in a castle. There you go. And your last one, we had A Few Good Men in Black. That's right, they can't handle the truth, so men in suits show up and flash wipe their memories. Give yourself 1 point for each of those. You had to have the whole set to make sense, so give yourself 1 point each out of 3. Let me know what your score was in the chat. I see we're having some people are having flashbacks from the days of a little game show we used to call Snot. Never mind the name, but it was an all-movie game show, and one of the anchors, kind of like Chain Gang is the anchor in Seriously Trivia, one of the anchors was called Movie Centipede, and basically the spirit was just connecting movies together. The frustrating thing is that you required zero movie knowledge to do it, because it was literally just a puzzle of putting words together. So people hated it, but we kept putting it in. I've got so many of those, I'm gonna have to start breaking up the movie centipedes. All right, everybody, we're down to how you say, your final category for this round. After that, a short break, maybe let's call it 3 minutes. How much time does it take? Go to the fridge, get a beer, go outside, and then go to the washroom. Whatever time that takes, we'll take that time, and we'll be back with a second round, 10 more categories, some similar, some different, and all definitely fun. Don't forget to stick around tonight later after the game at 10 o'clock on our YouTube channel for the Games Lounge, where I will be hanging out with the Mack Flash crew. We're going to be playing some board games along with you, and that's the whole point. It's not just us saying, hey, look at us. You guys can play along as well, and the concept is really, really cool. I'll explain that a little later. Let's go to how you say. How you say is a category all on idioms. Idioms are expressions or turns of phrase that we use. These are all nature-related idioms. What I'm going to do is give you a definition, and you tell me an expression that has an element of nature in it, and to answer this definition. If you're ready, let's take a look at this. Someone who develops slower than their peers. It's an expression that is nature related. Shout out to Kiwi Pilot's mother-in-law, Janet, living the dream in Trivia Land. Hey, Janet, thank you. Thanks for being here. Let's see if you're able to get this nature-related idiom, Janet. The ordinary people in a society or organization. And finally, number 3, to avoid getting the point. What is a nature-related idiom that means to avoid getting to the point? Not avoid getting the point. Hey, for that last one, if you wrote Treasure Planet, National Treasure Planet instead of National Treasure Island, I'll give it to you because that was definitely a movie adaptation of Treasure Island, and it works within the pattern of the story. So Sarah, you both get it. There you go. Let's take a look at your answers for how you say 3 different expressions that were nature related that had these definitions. I love these. You hate them. That's kind of this relationship. That's how this works. Let's take a look at your first one. A late bloomer, someone who develops slower than their peers, is a late bloomer. There you go, blooming, such as a plant. Thanks, Francois, for the expression. We didn't understand. Number 2, grassroots, a grassroots organization of the people for the people. The most, at the base of a society, you've got the grassroots people. Those are the everyday people, if you will. And there you go. You've got yourself beat around the bush. Beat around the bush to avoid getting to the point. So there you have it. Late bloomer, grassroots, beat around the bush. And yes, both are about Jim in the last. That's the name of the kid in the Treasure Planet, Treasure Island series. Fun times, man. See, everyone learning stuff, getting points, doing things. Give yourself a point for each of those. And hey, I think we're about at the halfway point. So this is where you want to tally up your scores. Let us know what you got out of the total. I didn't do the math, but I get a feeling that there's a person on my team who's probably going to let us know very soon what the total score was for this one. Thank you very much for being here tonight. It's Seriously Trivia on YouTube. My name is Francois. I am your host. It's so far so good. So far so good. Anyway, from my point of view, anyway, I don't know how you guys are feeling at this point, but thank you so much. Make sure you stick around because another round, 10 more categories coming up. We've got some different games, some similar ones as well, some more trivia, some more puzzles, and lots of fun to be had. Of course, we got our shot of the night hidden in one of these categories somewhere. So at one point, we'll all be doing a shot together. Nothing stopping you for doing more than one, of course. That's how it goes. And after the show, stick around for the Games Lounge, also on YouTube. You'll have to leave this feed, click on the button right next to it, and join us in the Games Lounge for some more games after that. Mack Flash After Dark. Hey, let's take a look at these awesome scores here. 23 out of 42 for the Hackers, 36 for Taylor. We got Melissa Ann with 35, the Willettes with 30. Let's take a look here. Home Sweet Canada, I will definitely check that out. Thank you very much. Covidiot's 38 out of 42. Eminem Mario, we got the 28 points. 31 for Christ Punchers, the Sad Sacks with 34. Michelle Stanton, 30 and a half. I think you're the only one who's allowed to do that. We've got Team Cherry Poppins, 39 points. Wow, good job. 38 for Samantha. The Naughty Hookers, 38 as well. 33 for the half the con men. What else we got here? Boom. Team Mom, 37 out of 41. Hot Mess, 36. And 35 for Super Much Fun. Hey, you guys are great. Thank you so much for sticking around. Quick break right now. I'm going to go get myself a beer. Make sure I've got my shot of the night lined up just in case it comes up first. I doubt it will. You guys aren't very good at picking that. And we'll be back in, let's call it 2 minutes. What's that, Tom? You think Zach's here? Is Zac Efron here? Zach, are you here? Is Zac Efron in here? Sorry, I just jumped into my seat. Anyway, well, if you are here, Zac Efron, thank you very much. Loyal fan, thank you so much. There's a rumor that you play here with Tig Notaro and the guys from Weezer. That's what I heard. But anyway, I'm back. Oh, I missed like all these awesome things in the chat here. Look at all these guys. Look at all these great people. Van Buren boys. Yes. There we go. Boom. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to move on to your next round because I realized the time. And we got to keep moving, guys. We got to get this game on the road. Cheers to everybody. Thanks for being here. Label out. Label out. Cheers, everybody. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Thanks for being here at Mack Flash. Don't forget to check out all the cool stuff we're doing every day. There's always stuff coming out on our channel. Back to the Future, that was yesterday. I gotta say, pretty good show. I've heard some reviews, and so far so good. What do we got this weekend? Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And yeah, definitely safe for the kids as well. So if you've got kids who love Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! The television shows, make sure you do tune into that. Adam Sandler on Sunday. We're doing an Adam Sandler quickie on Sunday, and then sports is going to be quarterbacks and goalies. So two different trivias, one on quarterbacks, one on goalies. Definitely not, it's not a trivia about quarterbacks who are goalies. I mean, Bo Jackson maybe? I don't know. That's my limited multi-sport athlete guy, but I'll get props from the sports community on that one. All right, everybody, welcome back to Seriously Trivia. My name is Francois, and I'll be your host again for this round. Let's quickly go through the procedures, how this works. You're going to want to have a notepad or a whiteboard in order to keep track of your answers. You can also keep an optional scoreboard with you. You guys are going to pick the categories as they come up on the screen. As you come up with the categories in the chat, I will write them down on my board, which I also forgot to get an eraser, but that's all good. I got fingers. We're going to do 10 rounds of 3 questions each. When the round comes up, there's 3 questions in it. As I just said, 20 seconds per question. You just answer them discreetly on your board or in your chat, and you're going to want to keep track of that like that. Sorry, I just got a warning that distracted me. After that, immediately after the round, I will be revealing the answers, and so you're going to be able to mark your own board and find out how well you did on that specific category. We've got your scores after that. You just keep track of your scores, share it in the chat, and then keep track of it for the end. We want to know what your total was. Okay, sorry, I'm just getting a warning that there's something about my internet might be slow. So if we cut out, I'm really, really sorry. That's what happens when you got a studio out in the middle of nowhere. Sometimes the internet just cuts out and does whatever it wants. What are you gonna do? Let's play some Seriously Trivia. That's what we're gonna do. That is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna wipe down my board here, make sure that everything else is in order. Get my little whiteboard ready. All right, your categories go like this. We got Former and the Ladder. We got Lloyds of London. Double the Funetics. Mystery Bus. We got the ABCs of Mo Problems. Swear to me. Songs in the key of Food TV. And I Mustache You a question. So there you go. Shout them out, baby. Shout them out. Let me know. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm getting some reviews of the DeLorean, the Back to the Future trivia over here, and you guys are loving it. Thank you so much. It was very nice of you. All right, let's get that. We got Lloyds of London. Of course, the Lloyds, eh? But it looks like Funetics got in first, so we're gonna go Funetics, and then we're gonna go Lloyds. Oh yeah, keep them coming. And then we got Lloyds, and we got food. Of course, we got food here. And all right, well, that's it. That's all we got there. Oh, and Rebus. Okay. Well, let's keep moving. And I'll come back to it. We'll ask you for more choices. But first, fun. Lloyds, food, and Rebus. Let's have some fun. Double the Funetics. Hey, this is a good one to get started. I think so. Bit of a word puzzle, but also just a trivia. The answer to these questions all start with double vowels, like an aardvark. So, well, that eliminates that answer. It's definitely not going to be aardvark, is it? Let's take a look at these hints and see if you can figure out the words that start with double vowels. Any ray-finned fish belonging to the order Anguilliformes. All right, next we got an interjection used to show recognition of a mistake or minor accident. And finally, in double the phonetics, a word that starts with double vowels, adjective for strange and frightening. Thanks for everybody joining in at this moment. Keep track of your answers at home at the end of the round, just like in about a few seconds. I will be going over the answers, and then you can share your score in the chat. We're going to do this over and over until the game is done. Ooh, double the phonetics. I think everybody did all right on that. There's not a lot of words out there that start with double vowels, so once this game is done, you'll never see it again. Especially that I've already spoiled aardvark, so goodbye, you aardvarks. First of all, stop hogging all the letter A's. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's take a look at your answers. An eel, anguilliform. In French, they're called anguille. And so there you are, E-E-L, an eel. Next one, we had oops, an interjection marking a mistake or a slight error. And last one, eerie. How eerie that is. There you go. Give yourself a word for each of those. Eel, oops, and eerie. And I'll see you back at the front. Share your scores in the chat. And just like that, a bunch of 3 out of 3s and a couple of 1s, but no big deal. It's just the beginning of the round, and we have got ourselves a tall order of Lloyds coming up. That's what everybody wants. They love the Lloyds. We should have just a whole game show. Just a bunch of Lloyds of different forms and formats. Hey, why not? That would be so boring so fast. Let's take a look at Lloyds of London. Lloyds, as you know, puzzles that are abbreviations of common expressions or statements of fact, down to letters and numbers. For example, in the category of games, if I said 52 equals C in a D, you would say cards in a deck. You would actually probably be smart enough to pluralize cards as well, which I was not able to do. So let's take a look at these Lloyds coming right up. There are 3 of them, and it starts with this one. Measurements. 3600 equals S in an H. Next up in your Lloyds category, we've got games. 20 equals N on a DB. And finally, in Lloyds of London, can you figure out this final Lloyd? Poetry. And there you have it, my friends. That is Lloyds of London, your dose of Dit Lloyds for this Friday night. If you like the Dit Lloyds, thank you so much. Make sure you do check out. There's not as many, of course, but there are some sometimes on Mondays and Wednesdays when I host Trivia Live at 7 o'clock. It's a different show. For those of you who don't watch and only watch this one, you should come by and check it out. More trivia, more straight-up pub trivia, but I do sneak in a few of these Dit Lloyds and puzzles once in a while to keep it interesting for everyone. All right, let's move along to your answers for these Lloyds of London. These are what I was looking for. Seconds in an hour. That's right, 60 times 60. So there you have it. Next one, we had numbers on a dartboard. That was your 20 numbers on a dartboard. And we have got ourselves lines in a sonnet. Poetry, 14 lines in a sonnet. Give yourself a point for each of those that you figured out and give me your score out of 3 on the chat. I'd be happy to see it. Thank you to Sean Gardner from Rosati Sampson and Associates. He's an independent financial advisor offering a wide range of investment and insurance products with multiple companies such as Manulife, RBC, BMO, Industrial Alliance, and more. Make sure you check him out on Facebook or at the info on the screen in his ad when it does scroll by. Thank you very much, Sean, for your support of the small businesses. Really, really appreciate it. Not a single Val Kilmer question yet. What is right? I'm off my game. I tell you, I've been ignoring Weezer. I haven't had a Val Kilmer yet. I tell you, if there isn't one by the end of the night, I owe you. I owe you next time, for sure. All right, food is on request up next. Food TV, and you know who you are. This one's for you. All right, answer these questions about Food Network celebrities. If you're ready, I've got these 3 questions coming at you right now. Number 1, what Food Network personality is also the host of non-food show Minute to Win It? Oh, everybody who got sent here by Mitchie the Kid, thank you so much for being here. You guys are great. Thanks to Mitch for sending these people over. Mitch is one of the Mack Flash hosts when we are allowed to go on the outside. So thank you very much for being here, guys. And I hope you enjoy the show. Furious Gonzo and Abraham. All right, let's take a look at your next one. Food TV. Who is the owner of Charm City Cakes, host of his own show for 10 seasons, and co-host of Kids Baking Championship? I'll tell you why this is recommended to you, because it's one of the greatest trivia shows online these days, and YouTube would be mad not to recommend it to you. There you go. Food TV question 3. What is the Canadian answer to Food Network's Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives? I'm, of course, being smarmy again and facetious. I do enjoy people walking into the game, and it's got to be confusing if you've never seen this before and you're like, what is happening right now? There's this weird saloon music playing in the background. Some dude is asking questions about Food Network celebrities, and he looks like this. What's going on? I would have questions as well, but there you go. You are here now. Now you can't leave. We're like Hotel California. That's right. You can check in. You can check in anytime you want, but you can never leave. So there you go. Thank you for being here and for playing along. And to everybody who actually does care, I care as well. Let's take a look at your answers. Food TV. It goes like this. If you're ready. Guy Fieri, one of my favorites. Guy Fieri, also the host of Minute to Win It. Duff Goldman is the Charm City Cakes and a Kids Baking Champion host or co-host with, I believe it's Valerie Bertinelli. Is that her name? I don't know. Why am I looking over here? Literally, no one over there. There's no one over there. It's a mirror, and it's me. I looked at my reflection and asked myself, is it? Yeah, I say it's Valerie. And You Gotta Eat Here. That's actually, I love that show. I wish I could, that's the job I wish I would have thought of getting. Like, I wish I would have been John Catucci. John Catucci, if you're watching, what's up, buddy? What's up, John? Good job, buddy. Really enjoy the show. Give yourself a point for each of these. Guy Fieri, Duff Goldman, you gotta eat here. And I'll see you back at the front. Next up, we've got Mystery Bus coming up. It is another good puzzle category as chosen by you. And Mystery Bus is like this. Rebus puzzle is a visual representation of a common expression or saying. For example, here, if you take a look at the puzzle on the left, we've got the word good inside the word tensions. Therefore, it is good intentions. You just got to say it kind of literally. And there you have it, 3 of those coming up at you right now. And it starts with number 1, which wants to know this. Number 2, in your Rebus puzzle. No, I'm not going to read these out. It kind of tends to give it away. And finally, number 3 in your Rebus puzzles. My favorite of the night. Thanks, Ruby. And there you have it. That is your Mystery Bus or Mr. Rebus. Your Rebus puzzles for the night, 3 of them, and hopefully you were able to come up with the 3 expressions I was looking for. Let's glance over at the answers right now and see what it was exactly that I wanted to see on your sheets. I'm busy, Carrie. This is what's going on, okay? Just take it easy on me, okay? Err on the side of caution. There you go. Err on the side of caution was your first one. We have the word err to the side of the word caution. We have got just between you and me, and that's literally what it looked like. The word just between the words you and me. And finally, we have odds and ends. That's right, it was all the odd numbers and the bunch of letter ends, odds and ends, and that's what it was. Thank you very much for playing along. Neil, why'd you pick my least favorite celebrity chef to shout out? Like, now I have to, but I really don't want to. Well, now I'm not going to because it'd be super awkward. All right, guys, give yourself a point for each of those, and I'll see you back at the front. All right, guys, I've got a few categories left. As you can see here, forming the ladder, the ABCs, Mo Problem, Swear to Me, Swear to Me. Songs in the key of and Mustache you a question. Right now, we've got Swear and Mustache ready to go. And get ready to let me know what you're going to want to do. Shout out, of course, to Lynn Crawford. Lynn, if you're watching, which there's probably a much higher chance that you're watching this show than anybody else we've shouted out. Shout out to Lynn Crawford. All right, everybody, swear to me. It's a quote from Batman. Yes, that's right. Batman Begins. But it is also... Hey, sexy lady. Oh, 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 oh. It's your shot of the night. That's how that goes. It's Shot of the Night, everybody. Just in a sense of conviviality, a way to bring us together even further. We're already together playing this game, which is a great time, and I'm really enjoying myself. And it is Friday night. We like to have a little drinky poo, if you will. Now, as I always say, whiskey, wheatgrass, or water. It doesn't matter what you're doing a shot of, as long as you're doing a shot with us. It's just a question of coming together in one act. I've got myself my fresh, delicious tequila, which I have to say, shout out to those who got it for me. On Wednesday, I think I drank 3 shots of this. I had the shot on screen and then I just sipped on it. It's so good. It's dangerously good. Dangerously good. This one goes out to you guys. Friday night, everybody. Stay safe. It's just so good. So good. Well, there you have it. If you are. And if you're not drinking alcohol, of course, yeah, water, wheatgrass, whatever you want to do, man. Just be with it. Give a thumbs up, if you will. It doesn't matter. It's just a question of us getting together. All right. Shot's been done. Let's keep going. We got swear to me. Answer these questions about swearing. Oh! So we had sex in the first one, swearing in the second one. Well, you know how I do. I like to throw you for a loop a little bit. It's not going to be that easy. Let's take a look at your first question. This animal's name appeared in the 18th century to replace its existing name when that took on the connotation of male genitalia. Once again, just no answering in the chat. Just make sure you keep track of your answers at home on a piece of paper. And just at the end of this round of these 3 questions, I will be giving you the correct answers, so you don't have to wait too long. Thank you very much. Number 2, an ad firm's 2013 study of phone conversations ranked each U.S. state's level of profanity. That's right, they studied phone conversations to find out which state was the most profane. Of the following 3, pick the most and least profane states: Washington, D.C., Ohio, New Jersey. You'll get a point each. Pick the least and the most profane state. And make sure you do write them down. Give you a little extra time there to come up with the least and most profane states out of that list, and we'll just discuss the whole they studied phone conversations thing after. Okay, next one. It's a common misconception that many sufferers of this disease exhibit coprolalia, when in fact it's only 10 to 15%. Gravy shots. That is the only alternative. Sue, that is the only alternative if you're not drinking alcohol. If you're not drinking alcohol, gravy shots, as suggested by Sue. The only alternative. The only alternative. I want everyone to have a fresh batch of gravy. That's what you should do. Just shots of gravy. What do we do on the show? Well, we get together and around round 3, we do a shot of gravy. It's a great time. Great time. All right, everybody. These were your 3 questions about swearing. Let's take a look at the answers as we go. We've got the following coming up. This is actually true. The name rooster had to be created because everyone started using cock for male genitalia, and now it is becoming inappropriate to refer to your rooster as a cock. So they're like, well, we're gonna have to call that bird something else now, and so they called it a rooster because it roosts. That's what it is. It is the rooster, and there you go. Next one, we've got the least profane was Washington, D.C. The most, believe it or not, you all wrote down New Jersey, was Ohio. I know. How about the fact that they studied people's phone conversations for this? I did read the article. They were, from recordings that warn you, this conversation may be recorded, blah, blah, blah. And by reviewing those conversations, which of course, if you're calling a place that has a message that says we may record your conversation, that's because people tend to get emotional and swear a lot. So it's probably a good, a good way to measure it. So 1 point each for those. And then the last one, Tourette's. So that's right, Tourette's. Not everybody who has Tourette's blurts out swears. It's about only 10, 15. That's called coprolalia. So there you have it. I'm probably pronouncing that right, but you get the idea. Give yourself a point for each, and out of 4, give me your score on the chat. See you back at the front. Let me tell you about one of our sponsors tonight, Ganley Family Pools, another one of our great sponsors. They specialize in in-ground, on-ground, and above-ground pool installations, as well as pool openings and closings, liner replacements, maintenance service, and more. Check them out on Facebook or call for a free, no-obligation quote to the number on the screen when their ad comes up. Thank you very much to the whole Ganley family for helping us out, not only with our pool, but also with our show. Really appreciate it. Coming up next, I must ask you a question. It is your picture round, and after that, I've got nothing written down. I can't believe AB hasn't even asked for songs in the key of yet. What is going on in this world? It's your picture round. I must ask you a question. Nice and simple. Identify the mustachioed celebrities seen here. There are 5 of them coming up. They all have mustaches, and all you have to do is name them. You're naming the celebrity, so if you're ready, let's start going with this. Bet you didn't expect that. Number 2. I just said it was going to be celebrities with mustaches. I didn't specify. It is amazing how just a little mustache can really throw you off, though. And there you have it. That's your picture round, mustachioed celebrities. Yeah, that's all I said. That's what I said it was going to be, and that's what it is. So there you have it. Hopefully you were able to find the names of those celebrities. Let's take a look at the answers now. Looking for the 5 names. It is an entire blog. Yeah, left the address there in case you were interested in joining, maybe subscribing, getting notifications from them. You never know when you want to see your next celebrity with a mustache. All right, first one, Jessica Alba came in at number 1 on that one. Number 2, we had Jennifer Goodwin from the Once Upon a Time television show, and that's about it. That's about all I know that she does. So there you go. Keira Knightley coming in at number 3. She is from the Pirates of the Caribbean, or Caribbean, whichever version you watched. We got Mila Kunis coming in, or Mila Kunis Kuchar, which sounds like a terrible way to hyphenate your name. And Rihanna coming in. That is the proper spelling of Rihanna, by the way. I looked it up twice today. Twice? I mean, just once. I got it the first time. Give yourself a point for each of those, and let's take a look at your scores out of 5 on this one. And I also need myself a little bit of a that last one was Carlton Banks. That's so funny. Let's take a look at the last games here. Former in the Ladder, the ABCs of Mo Problems and Songs in the Key of I've Got Nothing. Ready to go. Mila Kunis, yes, voices Meg, is in Forgetting Sarah Marshall. She was in that 70s show. That's it. There you go. All right, so tell me what you want to see. Former in the Ladder, the ABCs, Mo Problems with Songs in the Key of. We got ABC coming in for Ruby, our newest player. Thank you very much. after that, Mo Problems, songs, former. Well, let's take a look. All right, let's start with our ABCs right now. And I do forget that there's a delay between the chat and the what I'm doing right now. So there you go. Mo Problems just came in, and boom. All right, let's take a look at the ABCs. This is the ABCs of rock and roll. Who asked for it? Somebody before. It was like we did great on drugs. We did amazing on sex. All we need now is a rock and roll round to wrap it up. Well, there you have it. I've got your rock and roll. When you said that, it was really hard for me not to say anything. Let's take a look at these answers to these music questions. All start with A, then B, then C, and all have to do with rock and roll, or at least with music. Let's take a look. Starting with the letter A, we've got a software or hardware-based effect that adjusts a vocal performance to correct pitch. Matt Doopy, I love you too, man. I'm so glad you're here. You joined the chat. Welcome, buddy. Oh my God, I miss you a lot. All right, once again, ABCs. The next answer starts with the letter B, and it can be either a song section or part of the guitar. Looks like we figured out something else that Jennifer Goodwin does. She's apparently the voice of the bunny cop in Zootopia. There you have it. So my mistake, she's done two things. Number 3 starts with the letter C. It's a clip-on device with a rubber padded bar which holds down all 6 strings of the guitar in a specific fret position. Well, whatever, Mike. She was the star of Big Love on HBO. HBO, like anyone's ever heard of that tiny little independent network you speak of. All right, fine. I just never really liked her on Once Upon a Time, so I'm a little biased. That's what's going on. Let's take a look at the ABCs of answers, or the answers to the ABCs of rock and roll, baby. Let's take a look here. With A, we're talking about auto-tune. Auto-tune, the bane of this musical generation. That's right. Make mistakes, man. Let it be raw. Let it be raw. Of course, if you don't sing well, I don't want to hear it. With B, we're looking at a bridge. That's right. The bridge of a song can be a part that connects 2 parts of the song, or also is the part that contains the frets and connects the headstock to the body. Wow. Didn't even screw that up. Look at me, musician friends. We're starting with the letter C, and the last one, a capo, another part or another use of a singer-songwriter. Capo tends to clip down the guitar and help you out there. So auto-tune, bridge, capo is what we were looking for. Bingo, bango, that's how we tango. Give yourself a point for each of those. We got ourselves an entire Sopranos trivia coming, but we have an entire HBO trivia ready to go. You know what's been happening is since I started this, I have a lot of friends who are sitting around bored. Not only do we have the dedicated team, which I absolutely love and respect for putting out all of these quickies that we've been doing. They wrote them all. What's great is that I have friends who've also been bored and said, hey, I love your trivia. I'm going to write one for you. So coming soon, it'll be Fan Appreciation. I'm debating whether I do Fan Appreciation Week or release one. You saw me drop my marker there, and now it's gone. Fan Appreciation Week, where I'm going to air all of the quizzes that have been written by fans who sent them in and want a show made. I of course picked the good ones, and which all of them were good. And we got HBO, we got Stranger Things in there, we got retro video games, we got what else did people write? We got a soccer, basically association football, and we've got a Brit Bands one that were all written by fans. So I'm going to be putting those out as a fan appreciation quizzes because great effort on them, and thank you so much for just basically contributing to the entire life that is this game. I've dropped my marker, so I'm gonna have to just remember what you guys want. Let's take a look here. We got Foreman and Ladder, Mo Problems, and I saw Mo first, so we're going for Mo. That's what it is. Mo Problems. Boom. Let's take a look here. Mo Problems. Answer these questions about guys named Mo. Nice and simple. And it starts with this one right here. Number 1. Mo was the leader of the Three Stooges. What was Mo short for? Moses, Maurice, or nothing? Just Mo. Number 2 in the category of Mo. Spell it the best you can, but what is Mo's last name on The Simpsons? I just want to take a second and underline Daryl's awesome pun in the chat where he just said that Shane is having his Shane Payne birthday tonight. So good on you, Daryl. I'm going to support that and point it out. That's right. Interrupted the game for it and everything. Let's take a look at your last question about Mo. Mo. This Mo was an average Major League Baseball player from the 30s who spoke many languages, read 10 papers a day, and worked as a spy for the U.S. Well, live from Windsor, Ontario, Canada, it's Mack Flash Trivia, bringing you the finest trivia every night of the week. That's right, I said it. I claimed it, and I'm in a position to get sued. So why not? Let's just throw caution to the wind. Here we are. That was Mo Problems right there, which is what I'm basically calling on right now. Let's take a look at your answers for Mo Problems. We're looking for the following answers. First one, Mo from Larry Curly and Mo the Stooges. His Mo was for Moses. That's right. His name was Moses. There you have it. I didn't know that either. There are big fans out there of the Stooges. Number 2, we've got Sizzlack. That's right, Sizzlack. This is how it's actually written right here, but whichever way you wrote it phonetically, that is fine. There you have it, Sizzlack. And your last one, we're looking for Mo Berg. Mo Berg has a very, very interesting Wikipedia page and story. He was an actual, honest to goodness, Major League Baseball player. He was average, as the question said, so he didn't manage to, he kind of stayed on the radar, but not off the radar, but he managed to work as a spy for the U.S. as well, because he was so smart and well-versed and well-spoken. So there you go. Crazy, crazy Mo's right here. Give yourself a point for each. We'll see you back at the front. All right, we got Former and Ladder and songs in the key of, and let's see. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go with songs right now, and we're gonna finish it off with Former and Ladder, your high-scoring game of the night. So first, songs in the key of is here. It's songs in the key of titles. Answer these questions about songs with quirky titles. If you're ready, it starts with this one. What song by Blur is simply named that way because it comes after the first track of the album and before the third? Coming in at number 2 in the songs in the key of titles, the name of the title song of this Coldplay album is never mentioned in the lyrics. And finally, number 3 in the songs in the key of titles. The third release from their second album, What Song by My Chemical Romance, is titled after a girl who is never mentioned by name in the song. There you have it. That's songs in the key of titles with quirky titles. Let's take a look at your answers. We got to keep this show going because, man, baby, we got another show to go after this at 10 o'clock. Feel free to join us in the Games Lounge where we're going to be taking a chill break, get another, maybe another beer, another cookie, or another whatever. We're going to be playing some board games with you guys. You guys are going to want to check this out. When we tried it out, we were pumped. We were like, this is going to be a lot of fun. I think you were going to want to play this for sure. So make sure you do join us if you want to chill. And the cool thing, be in the chat, man. We're going to be like full on active in the chat, answering and joking around and stuff. It's a lounge for a reason. We're going to be very like chill and cool. And it's not like an organized game show or nothing. You'll see. Songs in the key of answers, going to songs in the key of, we have song 2. That's right, song 2 is called Song 2 by Blur simply because it is the second song on the album. That's it. That's all it is. Viva La Vida, the title song of the album. So the album's also called that. That is never said at all in the name of that song. And Helena, or Helena, whichever you want to pronounce it, he doesn't say it in the song, so I don't know how he meant to pronounce it. So there you go. Song 2, Viva La Vida, and Helena. I say Helena, but I'm French, so that's what I do. Give yourself a point for each. Let's get back to the front. Well, I was supposed to have my good buddy Chris on here today, and I just didn't have time to figure out the logistics, but we will have him on, whether he sponsors or not. My buddy Chris jumped to help a friend of his in Oshawa who says, listen, I make clothes. What do? I'm going to start making masks, but I don't know the first thing about online sales. Chris, being well versed in what he does in electronics and web and online stuff, he's like, I've got you. And they've joined together. Hancock Masks used to be Hancock Urban Wear, and they still are. But right now, during the pandemic, they are making masks. They're based in Oshawa, Ontario, and they're helping out. They have highest quality designer fabrics and a built-in moisture barrier to protect you and your family. So make sure you do check them out at hancockmasks.com. They will deliver via Canada Post. You can post your whole order through there, and you can also pick up from their Oshawa studio if you're near there. Thank you so much to Hancock Masks for your support this week and for always being there for Mack Flash Trivia. Chris, absolutely thank you, and don't worry, I will have you on one or multiple shows. You definitely deserve it. Let's Hen Rooster. Yes, correct. We can't say that. Yes. All right. We got 4 Men the Ladder coming up. It is your last game of this Seriously Trivia. 9 possible points coming at your team right now. As in the example, I'm going to give you 3 hints, the answers to which are 1 letter off from each other. For example, here we've got a protective building or a fort. A stinky gas is a fart, 1 letter off from that. And then at the grocery store, you would find a cart, which is 1 letter off from that. We're going to do that 3 times, once in each box, and so you have to come up with 3 different words. 900 possible points, or 9 possible points, I guess is what you guys are doing. Let's get going with number 1. A loud, deep noise, a written work, and a type of bird, or also a foolish person. Number 2 in this former and the latter. I know, the trick. Not a lot of time. Not a lot of time. Except that I babble. All right, here's the next one. Clothing item, also to punch. Number 2, to let something absorb for some time. And number 3, a cleanser. And finally, former and the latter, something uncommon. An anti-drug program for students started in the USA. And a word meaning extremely serious or urgent. Remember, the answer to these 3 are 1 letter off from each other. All right, there you have it. That is Former in the Ladder, your last game of the night. Right on time, baby. Right on time. Not that I'm in a rush, but this game, I've been chatting a lot. I gotta say, it's a thing that I do. It's a thing that I do. Lock in those answers. We're looking for the final 9 answers on your board. It goes like this. Former in the Ladder. Boom, a deep, loud noise, a published work, a book, and a bird, or a silly person, a boob. Fun fact, you could also have used tit. Ha! What a weird coincidence. It's a bird and a foolish person. More like in Britain, you tit. That's how they say it. All right, number 2, we have a sock. To soak something was to allow something to absorb, and soap as a cleanser. Sock, soak, soap. There you have it. And last one. Rare was something unusual. Dare is the drug program, and dire, a situation that is urgent or extreme. So there you go. That was very, very quick. I was wondering what you meant by took, but I also will not be able to accept rook. Rook is more of a, I see what you mean, like rookie, right? Yeah, a nickname. I would have had to describe that as the nickname for a new person, if you will. So there you go. Give yourself a point for each word. So this round is out of 9. I want to see what your score was. Make sure you get to that. And just like that, we find ourselves at the end of our game. Thank you so much for being here today. Share your scores in the chat and let me know what's up. I want to know what you guys got. Your scores are, all over the place. I love it. It did seem fast, but it was still 20 seconds. I give you a little bit more at the end. Hopefully next time I'll stretch it out a little bit more for you. No worries. That's it. That's Seriously Trivia. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Don't forget to tune in, of course, every night for something either live or pre-recorded. We've got ourselves what we call the quickies on our channel. We are now above 150 different videos on our channel, a combination of live and pre-recorded quickies. So there's got to be something in there you haven't played yet, so check it out. And then when you do, of course, don't forget to please hit the like button, share it with a friend who might enjoy it. And if you have not yet, do me a favor and subscribe. I know if you're on your TV, it's complicated. Just, look around at all these little options. Scroll around with your cursor and you're going to find it. You're going to find that like. You're going to find that subscribe. And you're going to open up a whole new world of YouTube for yourself. Speaking of a whole new world, a new fantastic point of view, we've got ourselves the Games Lounge coming up right now. That's right, 10 o'clock, 15 minutes. Gosh, I barely got enough time to get all the way to my office from this studio. And I can't wait to chill out with you guys in the Games Lounge. I'm just excited to show you guys what it is. And I hope it turns into like a cool little hangout thing. Anyway, thanks to all of our sponsors. Thank you to all of our new players. Thanks to all the return players. My name is Francois. I have been your host, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye-bye.